Hello everybody, I'm Morello,
And I'm Sashimi.
and today we are looking at some beginner tips and tricks for my time at Portia. So, when we first started the game on early access, there were a lot of things that were different about the game than they are now. They've had some updates now, so there might be a few things on my version here because I'm playing on PC still, but Sash here's playing on console. So first off,
Switch.
I don't So first off, what I did now it's been updated into it is if you actually come into the options section, you can go to game speed. Here, it starts off a default at 100. You can actually cut it down to 50, so you have twice as much time in the day. This isn't in the console version, is it?
As of April, yeah, so don't waste your time going through your menus and stuff. It's not available yet.
Okay, so you can't quite do it in console versions, but they should have an update coming if they're going to be They said they're bringing it up to speed with PC, so that should be something for you soon. So let's get into the morning routine. So a productive day is going to be a petty one. So you're gonna basically hop on your llama or whatever you have. And instead of going in through the other entry, I recommend entering the town every morning via this farther entry. The reason for that is, and the reason why it's petty, is if you come in, this is Higgins' workshop. He does work every morning, and he tends to leave materials.
I never noticed that.
You can actually get all kinds of bars, and as you saw, I got bars and EXP. He will leave bronze. He will leave carbon. He will leave stuff that you're not even able to get yet early in the game. So that is great to have. So you want to get in there, and as soon as 8 a.m. rolls around, you want to come in and grab your job before Higgins does. Now, it's not a weekend, or it's the weekend right now. So during the week, you have jobs on the board. You want to get to the board as fast as you can. Grab the good stuff before Higgins can. It's kind of like two kids trying to bully each other out. On the weekend, though, you can actually earn some points for the ranking.
Oh, dude, the glasses, they're huge.
The glasses?
Look, they're gigantic. One more.
Oh, the sunglasses. Okay, so the inspections on the weekends are basically, it's a set of 4 tables. They have you're timed.
Whoa.
Well, okay, so basically the one on the left is your definitive of the way the item should look. The one on the right it's got 2 problems. So as you can see here, you just click where the problem is. Obviously, this lens is rather jacked. And then the other problem is going to be somewhere else. Oh, as you can see sideways here, the lens is warped. Pop. So not only will this get you extra points to help you in your race against Higgins, if you want to catch up to him, this is one of the keys, is always grab a job every single day. Don't let a day go by. Even if it's an easy job, be sure to grab a job a day from Higgins before he can get to them. And always be sure to do these inspections on the weekends. It'll go a long way for catching him. Alright, so talking on social connections, this is your social menu. This is really important. What I recommend is early on in the game, your bar is going to look pretty similar to this, except you won't have any relationship at all with anyone. Your most important person for sure for your progress, I would say, is Gale. If you go into the social bar here, you can actually flip through and see what they like as you find it, though. These are going to be empty in the beginning. What they love, what they like. So for Gale, he does like tea tables. He likes salmon fried rice. Everyone loves roses. They're actually a very good item to have. Now, if you go to this is the important info, relationship perks. The reason I think he's one of the most important is because as a buddy, he gets you a 10% discount when purchasing land. Land is exorbitantly expensive. So you want to definitely get him up to good friend where you get the 25% discount as soon as possible. Outside of that, anyone that owns a shop, you definitely want to befriend them. Because if you go to like Polly and his shop, as a good friend, you'll receive a 25% discount when consuming in the Best Brother store. So any store. If you're worried about finding items, you can go online and Google what they like. If you have a little extra gold or goals, you can come to Lisa's store here, And roses, as I said, you can buy one a day, and they're kind of expensive. Right now, my market price is 83%, so I've got a bit of a discount. Um, so they're still 167. Roses everyone likes. They get you about 10 relationship per. So it's kind of like if you get one a day, get in the habit of once you have a little bit more money, buy one a day and give it to someone that you're working on. A little bit of a boost to them every day. And as far as selling, always buy low when your percentage is low and sell when it is high. You can see the prices right up there below the amount of goals that she has. So sell when it's above 100% and buy when it's below. As far as finding Gale, on the weeks, during the weekdays, he's always going to be at right here in the Portia governor office, right next to the guild. On the weekends, he tends to mill about quite inefficiently. So I guess he's being, so productive through the week that he decides to take it easy on the weekends. But usually you can hunt him down. So while we are on the topic of the shop, Polly's store has one of the best items in the game that is the most broken. It's actually on quite sale. It's on a good sale right now because I'm at 83%. But while it does cost a lot, the massage chair is probably the most vital item you can get as far as stamina efficiency. If you get this, it'll actually restore your stamina by sitting in it, and it restores quite a bit very fast. So, in the beginning, you don't have any tools, but as you guys probably already figured out, once you make some tools, it's rather inefficient to gather things by hand, like the wood piles, the other smaller herbs, but you never want to stop gathering these, the basic herbs, because as you can see here, to Sasha's left, these actually are going to give you healing items. They give you herbs, but as a fisherman, they also give you... I lost track of my llama. As a fisherman, you want to do these because they will give you not only herbs for healing, which are actually going to save you a heck of a lot of money in the later game, but they also give you worms. So they're a really good source of worms for fishing. And if you're wanting to make a lot of money, fishing is key. So anytime you see just those leafy ones...
Yeah, if you're a Harvest Moon player, they look like weeds. And also, if you're a Harvest Moon player, you might want to be careful how much stuff you pick up, because it does use stamina. You can't just run around and grab everything. I know you'll want to. Yeah,
so as far as getting actual materials, like other materials that are not herbs for healing and worms, it's inefficient to grab, to keep grabbing them. But the herbs you want to do, but not so much the wood and the stones that are lying on the ground. Alrighty, on the topic of money and overabundance of items, you're going to be getting a lot of stone as the game goes on. Whether you're in the ruins or you're just grinding out on your gathering, you're going to end up with a ton of stone. The best way to use it, normally you could sell 2 stones for 1 gold. That's rather inefficient for money. If you come to your work table and go to the gear, you'll find the grinding stone here. This is generally what people use, because it's just 4 stone. It's actually 5 stone for one of these, but you see the 4.3 over here because I've got a skill active. But you can make these, and you get it makes each stone worth roughly 1 gold a piece, so it almost doubles the value of them. Doesn't sound like much, but in Portia, money's kind of hard to get in the beginning, so that can actually go a long way toward making you some money and being very efficient, especially early on. Okay, so for the DD transports, a couple notes on this. For those of you hoping that when you build this, you're going to have a car to ride around, unfortunately, that's not the case. This is used in a fast travel network that you make. You can't actually drive these. Your fastest way around is going to be the llamas and the horses. Other than that...
Which is better anyway, I mean.
Yeah, I mean, I like the horses. You raise them, and they're pretty quick. They're very efficient. As far as the DD transports here go, though, you want to make sure that before you build the bridge in the beginning, they give you a tall order to build a bridge to cross the gap over the river to the island. It's one of your big first missions. So you want to be able to have 5 of these made, these DD transports, before you make that bridge. Before you make it, be sure you have 5 of these made. They're not too terribly hard to make. They seem a little daunting at first, but once you get the hang of crafting, they're not that bad. You can kind of crank these out pretty fast. So you want to make 5 of them. The reason for that is there's a trophy or achievement related to the day after you build the bridge.
On Steam.
Yeah, on Steam, but I imagine it's on the consoles as well.
Yeah, it might be.
So the day after, they're gonna give you a mission where you have to build these 5 DD transports. The reason you want all 5 is because, unlike normal missions, you can actually go into the hall that morning and grab all 5 of these work orders at once. You don't have to do them one at a time. The reason you want to grab all 5 is because Higgins is going to come in and he can do one of them a day, and he will take them from you if he has the chance. So you want to be able to go in, grab all 5, and turn in all 5 as soon as possible. Not only will this give you a ton of points to catch up on Higgins and take away points from him by taking the job off his table, but like I said, on Steam anyway, the trophy is if you turn in all 5 of those transports that they ask for, then you get the builder's achievement for it. So definitely want to get those ready before the bridge. Alright, so on the topic of materials you're going to need that are very important, and you want to start gathering them very quickly as soon as you can. Bronze bars are necessary all the time, and like so much stuff, they are ridiculously in demand. So anytime you want to dedicate at least 1 or 2 of your furnaces to making bronze bars all the time. And whenever pretty much every morning, I get up, reset it, and refuel the furnace. And I just do that for all of them, because bronze bars are going to be required in a lot of your stuff. Like 90% of your recipes are going to require bronze bars, bronze pipes, bronze sheets, all sorts of stuff, especially early on in the game. Outside of that, wood is, as you guys saw, I was throwing wood into these furnaces. Every furnace is going to use wood. So for fuel, to keep your project going, you're going to need tons. Like some of the devices need power stones. But early on, wood is a huge, I mean, you're going to run through at least 20 wood a day if you've got one. That's per furnace, if it's running materials. So don't just go by the wood that you get in the actual trees. If you come over, you want to be sure to process all of your logs as well. So if you come over to the gear icon in here, so as you can see, I've got tons of hardwood logs. So you can take, you can get wood, hardwood from logs. That's what you get from trees most of the time. If you're running out of wood, go over to your work table and see if you can process any of these, and you'll get tons and tons of wood, because you probably haven't been processing your logs. I forget about it all the time. It's really easy to overlook it. Outside of that, one of the biggest things you want to do is lettuce. So lettuce is, for some reason, it's a limited crop. You can't buy it in the stores, and you have to actually grow it. And it's needed for capturing llamas. It's also needed for feed. Llamas are most easily fed and happy if you use lettuce as your feed.
That one's also limited by season, right?
Yeah, they are. The seeds are unfortunately limited by season. So if you're out of season, you can't buy lettuce and you can't really grow it. So you really want to make as much lettuce as you can. And as you can see here, lettuce seed. Okay, so the seasons are spring and autumn. So you want to be sure that during spring and autumn, I would dedicate at least 2 or 3 boxes. And whenever you have it up, be sure that you're checking it. So the little green arrow right there underneath the 2 days is what you need to keep your lettuce happy. To get the most out of it, you want to apply fertilizer to make sure it doesn't fall below that arrow. And as long as you keep it above that arrow, then your yield should be quite good. Fertilizer is most easily gained by, for some reason, the same blender that you use to... this is kind of disgusting. The same blender that you use to make your juices and everything, you also use to make fertilizer. You'll
And your
need...
concrete and your smoothies, you know.
I mean, I just made some red tea in this thing. Let's go ahead and make some concrete and fertilizer out of it, too. And then we'll go and make ourselves some lemonade with it later. But animal bones, mucus, and animal feces, these are all really easy to get items.
Delicious.
Just go out there and kill some enemies and gather their bones and their mucus and stuff, and you'll get it. You'll get plenty of it, and gather the feces from either your livestock or out in the field. So early on, crops don't actually seem like they're going to be worth all that much. They're great for maintaining your feed for your animals once you've got them, especially your horses and llamas. They are actually one of the best forms of progressive over time profit with without the use of stamina. You can throw a bunch of crops out, and then basically you throw the seeds in and put some fertilizer on them. Check them once a day. There's no stamina used in the process at all, and then when you harvest them, boom, you've got some profit. So it's kind of easy, lazy profit without having to worry about using any stamina on it. Alright, so my last tip, this was actually a really annoying thing to find in the beginning of the game for me. I had to look it up. Is ironwood. Ironwood is used in a lot of things, and in the beginning it's like, where do I get ironwood? I don't know. I went around chopping all the trees down, and a lot of other survival games have actually got me in the habit of never cutting down or digging up stumps. You know, when you chop down a tree, you've got the stump. In many games, if you get rid of the stump, you're actually going to end up killing the tree, and
it won't grow back.
Yeah, it won't grow back. So let me scoot us aside here real quick so you guys can see the rewards. So those big gnarled trees, like the one you saw here, not the thinner trees, but these
really, really big ones.
Yeah, these. If you come after these and go ahead and chop them down.
Oh, there's so much.
Boom.
Dang,
8 ironwood just from that one. You'll get between 2 or 3 to 8, depending. If you have the skills that actually increase your yield, those are actually really handy. So like I said, these big ones here, you want to come after these. And the good thing is, like I said, if you don't worry about them not growing back, if you chop up the trunk, these trees do grow back in a matter of a few days, so they will be back. Don't worry about that, because I know a lot of games I've played previously had me just not touching the trunks and
the stumps.
Yeah, the stumps. So ironwood in the stumps, go after these and chop them up. Get to those, and the bigger the tree and the longer it takes to chop down, the more ironwood you get typically. So you just want to be sure that you're chopping those down. There's a bunch near the farm. The farm's right there. There's one over there. There's several along this path. I mean, if you roam around, you're going to find them all over the place. And for these, typically, I think you need the iron hatchet to get the best out of this. I don't even know if you can get some of these. I think a lot of these you can't even cut without the iron. That's probably why they're called ironwood trees. Now, to process the ironwood, you are going to need to upgrade your cutter. The cutter I have here for ironwood is just the next one in the series, so the industrial cutter, and that'll make your ironwood planks. Well, alrighty, outside of that, I mean, that's most of the stuff that kind of boggled my mind in the beginning of the game. Those are the things that I would say would be the most beneficial to know, especially getting your relationships up. Like with Gale, figure out all the shop owners, talk to them every single day, befriend all of them. That way you can save money, the sooner the better. And keep your wood, your lettuce, and your bronze up. You can't have enough of it, pretty much. Well, hope that helped you out, guys. We appreciate you watching. Likes and subs, if you're new to the channel, are completely up to you. If you guys have any questions or any other tips, leave them down in the comments section below. Help your fellow gamers out. You might even help me out. I don't know everything about the game. We don't know everything about the game. So
I certainly don't.
If you guys have any tips, throw them down there. We can all help each other out. And what we do ask for around here on this channel, though, is if it's within your means, consider adopting or rescuing an animal. ASPCA.org, petfinder.com. You can also Google local animal rescue and adoption agencies. If you can't bring one home due to allergies, living conditions, what have you, there's other ways you can show your love to those critters out there. What are some of those?
You can also go volunteer and still spend time with the guys, or you can donate money, old blankets, clothes. They can use all that kind of stuff.
Yep, so if you've got love to give, there's plenty of ways to give it, plenty of ways to show that love, and there's plenty of animals out there who could use it. So, speaking of love, we love you guys. Remember, buy your fun, not your fam. Adopt, don't shop, and we will see you next time. Bye-bye.